I'm Dean Huppert, and this is the Coaches Show presented by Southwestern Michigan College, and we're with the head coach of the Mishawaka Cavemen going into week 3. Hard to believe a third of the season's going to be gone after this week.
Yeah, we tell our kids all the time that once it starts going, it flies, and it certainly feels that way. The weeks are going fast, and we've kind of had some weird things. The heat last week kind of threw a wrench in the preparation plans, and we had to do some things differently.
If people are looking over Northridge, last year it was a double overtime game.
Yeah, I think there's 4 or 5 teams that can win our league this year, and they're certainly one of them. They're really skilled. I think they've got like 8 guys back on defense, a lot of athletes. They've got a Division I offensive lineman, a Division I running back, just really good football players all across the board. And Coach Epley's done a really good job in a short amount of time there. So, it was a tough one last year against them, and we expect the same thing this week.
Yeah, you talk about offense. If you want an offensive game, this would be a great one to go to. You guys are averaging almost 300 yards a game. They average 328, and a great passer and receiver.
Yeah, they've got weapons all over the place. They're like I said, their quarterback is a good thrower. He can also run the ball. They do a lot offensively, which is a challenge to try to defend. They'll throw it and run it out of just about every formation. So we've got our hands full from a defensive point of view, and we got to figure out a way to be better offensively than we were last week.
You said this last week that everybody's making a big deal. This is a big game. I mean, you go into this week, it's all eyes forward.
Yeah, and we told our kids that yesterday. Last week to me was not as big a deal as others were making it out to be. I wish we would have played better, and obviously we want to win every game we play, but this week matters, because you're trying to win a trophy, and you're trying to start 1-0 in the conference. It's going to be awful hard to win the conference if you start 0-1. So our kids understand that. I think that they buy in to what we're talking about. It's a really good opponent on the road, and after last week, I think our kids understand that we got to play better to beat good teams.
Who's somebody who you look at and say, he's played really well. They're showing out on film right now, and that's a consistent player people should be cheering for.
Yeah, I think Keith Scheiko, a senior who was playing JV wideout last year, is now starting on the defensive line for us, and he does everything he's asked to do. He does it full speed. He's strong. He doesn't get moved around, even though he's a little undersized. He's done a really good job in the 2 weeks, and he kind of surprised us. He didn't start week 1, kind of earned a spot when he got an opportunity and hasn't come off the field since. And then Aiden Brooks, our left tackle, same kind of story. He was a JV offensive lineman last year and, kind of earned his starting spot in the summer and has played like one of our best offensive linemen so far. And I think the same thing could be said for Ethan Williams, number 65, a senior that was on the JV last year that got his opportunity and has done a really good job. So, we've got some guys that have paid their dues and earned the right to be on the field, and they've really performed pretty well once they've gotten the chance. And then, I think Novell's been really good in the first 2 weeks. He hasn't had that big 50, 60-yard touchdown run, but he is running physically, and he is gaining the tough 4 or 5 yards when we need it.
What do you love about this game? I know you talk about family and you've got a tight-knit coaching staff, but coming out here every day, the grind of it, trying to make kids better, what really makes you tick?
Well, I think the thing that's so great about this game is the reliance on 10 other people. We got to have 22 to 30 people bought in, invested, and doing their job and relying on them to do their job. And then I just think it teaches you great life lessons, right? There's going to be bad things that happen. You're going to have to pick yourself up, and you're going to have to move on to the next thing. If you keep focusing on what just happened, then you're not going to be prepared for the next thing. So those are all things. It's a game within a game. Every play is a game. Every week is like a lifetime, I just think it's such a good metaphor for life. So we had a disappointment last week, and now we get another opportunity to learn from that and put it away and try to get better now, and with the end goal still in mind that we want to play for championships and we want to learn how to overcome adversity. So that's kind of what keeps me ticking.
And finally, just a message to fans. Big game Friday night, 7 o'clock at Northridge. It'll be on 96.1 FM. but you want to see people in the stands, and they help this team.
Yeah, I thought our energy was great. That we had a great crowd last Friday night. We had a good crowd for our first home game. I don't think there's anything better that you can do and come watch these young men compete for their school and their community and for each other. So we'd love to have them out there.
All right, appreciate your time. This has been Keith Kinder, the Coach's Show, presented by Southwestern Michigan College. I'm Dean Huppert. Kickoff 7 o'clock Friday night at Northridge.